Hello everybody, and welcome to a segment that I haven't done in a while, which is my live replays. We are make capital G now, but we showcase our own decks, not other people's, because we know about that life. Anyway, so I gathered a few Odd Eyes deck replays. I also have Zephyrs and whatever else. But I just want to show my Odd Eyes deck and more or less how it functions. So first match will be against a water deck. Now the idea behind this deck is you want to get your Sky Iris with your Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon, and you go for that cheeky combo of like popping for your Sky Iris effect and then special summoning off Odd Eyes Arc. And then you probably want to get like a Skullcrobat Joker, some Joker, get a search for something, and then go probably into Heavy Metal Foot Electrum, and then just generate so much advantage. And go for a big Pendulum Summon. So my opponent, he's playing water, he doesn't have the strongest field, doesn't have any negations, so I just start searching for my important pieces, and just start doing this combo of Sky Iris into Odd Eyes Arc, and then go for my Odd Eyes Lancer because it basically prevents negation, and then I just use Heavy Metal Fool's Electrum to generate advantage. And here I just take his Firewall because I'm a baller like that, and I'm just trying to inflict as much damage as possible because I know I won't be able to go for OTK, and then I tribute off the Firewall. Now a mistake I did here was placing my Persona Dragon to the very far right. If I place it in the middle, he wouldn't be able to use a Kashik's effect, but I negate it anyways. Then he uses his Deep Sea King, special summoning. He tries to go for something. I guess he could have gone for maybe Topological Bomber Dragon, and then off Topological special summon Rotitonin and just wipe the whole field, but I don't think he was running it anyways, which would have been a nutty play from his part. Now, 6Ms. This deck has a very good matchup against 6Ms. Going first or second, because there just isn't a whole lot they can do. So, again, here I go for the most simple combo. Get my Joker. Joker is very important because it just gives you so many. Well, it generates a lot of advantage. And then I go for Vortex, Synchron. So I'm just kind of like not really going for the OTK, but mostly just setting up a board. So he starts doing 6 Samurai stuff, goes for Grey Shogun Shion, and then Legendary Shion. I get my special summon, and then I bounce off his Grey Shogun Shion. Now the reason why I bounced off his Shogun Shion was because I didn't want to be locked from using just one spell and trap because of Sky Iris, but that was okay because he negates my Revolution Dragon, which is fine, and then I just go for a Pendulum Summon, and then go for a Synchro Summon into Meteor Burst. He I could have easily taken. I could have made Big Eye and then just take his Shion and just go for Red Eyes Metal Flare to in the end to apply as much pressure as possible, so that every time he uses effects, he'll get punished by taking 500 damage. He goes for Digo Taco, which, yeah, was good to get over my stuff, but in the end it doesn't really give him anything, because he still hasn't gone over the Red Eyes Flare. So I just destroy his Grey Shogun Shion, and then he's just stuck with the back row, but his back row is actually pretty good, but so was mine. My top deck was even better. He goes for Double-Edged Sword Technique, which is fine. He keeps taking more damage. I go for the Sky Iris, special summon, and then special summon again. And then his Revolution's effect, he negates the Revolution second time, but takes damage because of it. Which is really crucial, because if he didn't negate it, he wouldn't have lost. So he pays 500 here, and then he plays another 500, and he dies because of it. Again, even if he used Kizan afterwards, he still would have taken 500 and died either way. But just to show you how like Red Eyes Flare Dragon can put a lot of pressure on the field late game. So that was a match 2 against the same guy. So this time he went first both times. So this was the same person from last game. So he's makes 2, set 2. He has the Solemn Warning, which is fine. I go for Joker and then go for my shenanigans, you know, try to set up that perfect combo of Sky Iris and Odd Eyes Arc. It's very crucial that you get this going because essentially it's how you want to turbo stuff out. Especially your Lancer Dragon, because it's able to just destroy stuff and prevent your opponent from using back row. My opponent goes for Kageki and then Asceticism. Then he goes for Double-Edged Sword Technique. So he has so much possibilities he can go for. He goes for Trishula, which for me wasn't the best choice since he could have made a Link monster and then like Synchros and Xyz, but I guess. I go for Sky Iris, pop, effect of Odd Eyes Arc, and then I go for Persona, and then I use this to make Meteor Burst, go into Odd Eyes Arc, and then I make Big Eye to just take his Trishula. And I keep going back to making Big Eye because Big Eye is so good this format, since whenever you're able to take out one of your opponent's key monsters and just like use it, it's insane. You can use it for tribute summons, for link summons, for pendulum summons. Not pendulum summons, but like fusions if they meet the requirement. It's insane. So he goes for anti-spell fragrance, which is fine. I already had my Duelist Alliance set up as a bluff, and then I special summon Odd Eyes Arc. And I just start beating over their stuff. So no big deal there. This one, it was pretty funny because my hand at first looks kind of sketchy, but it's fine because I'm able to fix it due to Revolution's amazing effect of discarding itself to search. So I just search for my most important combo pieces. And once more you'll see this combo. Because it's just able to do so much. I go for Vortex. Now, this is sort of like the board you want to have turn 1, where you have your Sky Iris with your Odd Eyes Arc, as well as your Vortex, and your Persona Dragon, preferably in defense. Mistake on my part putting it in attack. But yeah, because you have protection in your Pendulum Scales, you have a floater, which is your Odd Eyes Arc, because when something is destroyed, it special summons from hand, deck, or grave. You have your Vortex to negate, you have a Persona to negate a special summon monster, so this is like a very tight board. And it's sort of like the best Odd Eyes can go for. If you don't draw that well, you should be able to achieve this most of the time. So he starts doing True Kings, Six Sams, whatever. I use Persona's effect to negate Shien for the rest of the turn. And then I just go for Joker, search Noble, and then make Meteor Burst to special summon my... so I make Meteor Burst with Vortex and Noble Dragon Magician. The reason for that was because I had my Sky Iris and my Odd Eyes Arc, and I'm then gonna destroy my Joker to special summon Vortex. And then I use Big Eye to take Shien. Oh no, I go for Revolution, and then Revolution is gonna get Vortex, and then that's gonna trigger. So I bounced the Kizan because I couldn't bounce Masterpiece. So he's left to 500 HP, and he kind of just tries to like stall. So he goes for Baguska, which was a pretty good play on his part, so I kind of just wait out both turns. But I get my Odd Eye Search. That's just to like have something in the grave for my Odd Eyes Arc, which is the reason why I did it. We kind of just wet it, so his hand isn't looking too good, but it goes for a Heritage. I tried to negate it with Shien, but then I forgot Baguska was the thing, so it goes for the Tribute Summon, and then Masterpiece is in defense, and he destroys my Sky Iris. Here, I kind of just go for Spell from Track on Baguska, turn everything to attack. Masterpiece. I made a mistake in the Chain Link where I was trying to negate Masterpiece effect, but I ended up negating my Big Eye effect. But I'm still able to go for the OTK because Odd Eyes Lancer beats over Masterpiece. One more 6 M's. So this 6M play was using some double summon, whatever. Double summon reasoning, so he has a Shien and a Solemn, which is fine, so I go for Joker. Odd Eyes Arc, and then Duelist Alliance, Phantom, he negates my Phantom Dragon Scale. I just plus something else to negate this. And then Special Summon Lancer, go for Persona, go for a Pendulum Summon. He solves my Pendulum Summon, which is fine. I beat over his Xian, attack with Joker. And he top decks Shogun Xian and just loses. Loses against Magic Ball. It's actually the Rage Quit on me. So he was looking alright. Again, I go for very standard setup. Just get my things set because I didn't know what I was playing against, and trying to achieve that Vortex Persona was the most efficient thing. I kind of just use Electrum here to gain some advantage, and then have 2 extra Pendulum Zones for my Pendulum Summon, so that way I would have Absolute Dragon to negate attacks, Vortex to bounce, and Persona Dragon. So this is even like a tighter board. This is like almost the ultimate form you want to have turn 1, especially with Sky Iris, because you can negate attacks, you can negate a spell, you can negate a special summon monster, you have your Odd Eyes to flow, as well as your Pendulum. Well, this can be anything in the other scale. He goes for Desperado, I'm forced to negate it. His hand was looking very good because I just played through the Maxi. Since my hand was so good, either way. So he destroys his Doctor the Kid so that he could have a better struggling battle. Either way, I keep my Vortex just so I could negate stuff. So I go for Odd Eyes Arc. Just have it in scale. Attack. Now he goes for Casper, Desperado. I negated Desperado, which was sort of a mistake in my part because I should have negated the Instant Fusion instead. And then he uses my Vortex. So right now I'm looking in a pretty bad position. But I normal summon Mirage and then attack. He uses double cross out. I can then special summon using Vortex and bounce the Karibo. And then I'm able to negate the Karibo effect to make my Odd Eye 0 attack. So he goes for Duality. I don't negate it because it's not really a threat. He goes for Casper the Kid. Now I have my Persona. I go for my Mirage. I attack. I make my Vortex unable to be destroyed, and he uses the 2 Magic Bullet spells, which is fine. He goes for Casper and then Desires. Again, I just get my protection on Vortex. The Mirage, I should have like normal summon it instead, or do something else with it, but that was okay. So the guy actually rage quits on me because he attacks the Mirage, and then I would be able to special summon something from the grave, as well as having an Odd Eyes negate. And then if you look at his hand, he had triple hand traps with Ties of the Brethren and all the stuff. If he went for Ties of the Brethren, he would have lost a bunch of cards, and then essentially he had like too much stuff in the graveyard he couldn't access, 10 cards banished, and not a very good hand. So, and he used a bunch of his spell and traps. So I think that's ultimately why he just decides to give up. Next duel is against Grinder Golem. Karibo Grinder Golem, I think. So he just goes for the Grinder Golem shenanigans of going for a Kashik and then bouncing it. And then going for Security Dragon to get the other bounce. I think this is where it makes a mistake where he should have gone for Skull Beat, but that's fine. He used the Kashyyyks and nails a bunch of like really important cards. He then goes for Proxy Dragon and has Viral Load as well as Firewall. So this is actually a pretty tough board to beat. So because he doesn't have any negates, I'm just able to fully go for my plays. He does have the Lost Wind and negates my Golem. He said on the chat I was misclick, he wanted to negate Skullcrabat, which could be a reason why I won the duel, but either way. So I'm just using my Sorcerer for extra advantage and setting up my board so I could beat over his Viral Load. He sets the Lost Wind, and then I use Starving Venom to gain as much attack as Viral Load, and then he uses his Karibo effect on my Starving Venom, which makes it 0 attack. I attack into the Viral Load anyways, because when Starving Venom is destroyed, as long as it was Fusion Summon, it destroys all special summon monsters. So that's how I was able to get over Viral Load. So you can use that effect, and then I bring back Starving Venom using a Pendulum Dragon, and then my opponent was just like, oh yeah, GG, and he just surrenders. Next matchup, Goki. This Goki build is pretty cool. Very similar to my build, but incorporates Block Dragon as well as hand traps. So he had his Office Scorpio, and as long as you have that, you don't really need to worry about anything else. You can tell it's my build because he's playing Jar of Avarice. Not to brag or anything, but you know, I was playing Jar of Avarice before it was even a thing. I don't really know why he went for a Kashik, but either way, he had like an okay board for what we'd be able to do. So no big deal here. My back row is mostly just bluff. I go for Vortex to bounce his Block Dragon, and then use Sky Iris to pop, Arc Pendulum triggers, and then I was trying to use Otter's Revolution effect to bring back Raging Dragon or Rebellion, but I can't quite remember why I wasn't able to do that. Are they not Dragon? They are. It must be some sort of glitch, because I should be able to bring them back by destroying Revolution. Either way, I used the negate on Mrs. Radiant, so you wouldn't be able to get any more card advantage, because if you did, his deck was a brick, and I can just negate his Pot of Avarice as well, and that's when he just surrenders. So it was really good that I negated the Mrs. Radiant, because if I didn't, he would be able to get a card to his hand, which would have made either set up a Goki play or a Block Dragon play, I believe. So I was just like, no, you're not having that. And then that was during my turn, and then during his turn he activates Jar of Avarice, and I was like, excuse me, I came up with that card. Well, I started using that card, not you, so you're not allowed it. Ooh, Fluffles. Now this was actually one of my favorite matches to play, because we are both like trying to OTK each other, right? Because that's what Fluffles do, and that's what Odd Eyes does. So I do get the -1 off Ash, which is fine. It was only on Joker, so it's not that I didn't get the plus. I just went even. But that didn't really stop me, because I'm still able to go for a very good Pendulum Summon and then set up my board with Electrum. And go for Meteor Burst. Here, if I knew I was playing against Fluffles, I would have made Absolute Dragon, because with Absolute I would be able to negate attacks, and negating Fluffle attacks is what hurts them the most, since they're not able to deal with that. So my opponent is actually pretty smart. He fight for Patchwork, God rest in peace, and he gets the card advantage. He starts going for card advantage plays. He goes for Poly, and then he goes insane on that Pendulum, on that Tiger, because he's able to target like 5 cards I control or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 4 cards, right? So I just negate it with Persona, and then he goes for the Fluffling play, gets a bunch of searches, and then Fragment Factory goes into Sabertooth. Sabertooth brings back Tiger, then activates Fragment Factory to bring back another Sabertooth, and he has like so much damage on the field. But I'm just able to like flow and keep my board presence. So I use this solver to make Starving Venom and just attack into his Tiger, because now my Starving Venom is was huge, but I don't think he kind of like knew about Starving Venom's effect, where he would be able to destroy my stuff, because he pokes. He beats over my Lance, and then I get 2 special summons, and then he just attacks over my Starving Venom, and I'm just like, do you not know what Starving Venom does? Here I'm just using this to destroy my other Odd Eyes, that's why I set it in scale, and then I get a special summon as well as a draw, and I'm just able to extend my plays, making another copy of Starving Venom. The amount of times I made Starving Venom, and because I knew I was playing against Fluffles, I had the opportunity to make Absolute Dragon. But I did use the Absolute Dragon effect to style on him by negating my own attack to be able to special summon Lancer and just go for the clean OTK. So that was pretty fun, because it kept going backwards and forwards, because these are both like high recovery OTK decks that are able to just like come back from like any top deck, and I loved it. It's my favorite matchup to play is Fluffle Odd Eyes. Uh, this is just showing how like rogue decks that need like one really good normal summon or whatever. If you just negate that normal summon, they kind of just get destroyed. So I was just kind of like trying to extend my plays as best as I could, setting up my Persona Dragon for a negate, and then I fusion summon for Vortex and had my standard-ish board. I was only missing Sky Iris. He also fell ground, and I'm just like, no, bounce. Yeah, he destroys both of my Pendulum Scales, but I destroy his Felgrand. And then his hand wasn't even anything special. So I just set my scales for the style points, get the burn damage off Otter's Phantom, and then go for the clean OTK. Oh, another reason why it wasn't just for style points, it was because of Phantom's effect, where when he inflicts battle damage, you were able to inflict 1,200 per Pendulum Scale. So yeah, Dinos was pretty interesting because he's still able to like. Okay, so he goes for the one soul charge, which is pretty funny, but yeah, it was just Dinos doing Dino things after the ban list. The thing that annoys me the most is how Deng Long got banned, not even limited, because I was trying to play Yang Zings, and not having Deng Long just kind of hurts because I can't play things like the Draconet engine, which is really good, which is a one card Deng Long, but that's okay. So he goes for Skull Beat, using Skull Beat's effect, pretty good, but the problem was, because of Skull Beat, even his on monsters lose attack due to Lost World, so I was kind of in a better position since my Odd Eyes cards have more attack. So I use Phantom Dragon's effect to boost the attack of Lancer Dragon so I could inflict more damage, and then I just keep going for special summons. Well, I'll try to go for special summons and go for Search of Astrograph. He top decks Dragon Ravine and just sets his Brastos, which is fine. That's not really too difficult to out since I make Electrum, and then use Electrum to pop my scale, special summon, use Astrograph Sorcerer, and then I just go for Odd Eye Synchron. And here my idea was just to take over his Brastos with Big Eye. So pretty straightforward. Next matchup is Cybus. I think Cybus has had. Okay, so we had Starter Deck, Code of the Duelist, Structure Deck, another Structure Deck. So they have like 4 waves of support, and even then, they are still like very shaky because there's just so many like different cards that have different effects. You can't really go for just like 40 cards, and if you do go 40 cards, most of them will be monsters and a bunch of like spells. So I'm thinking like they're probably gonna get some sort of like card where it requires them to play just one copy of each Cybus, because that's pretty much what I'm thinking right now. I think playing one copy of each Cybus is better than just playing a bunch of Cybus. So he had his Palco Talker, and I just go for Big Eye and take it for myself and use it for its link arrows to be able to get a bigger pendulum summon and eventually set up for the OTK. Yeah, so that's the problem with Cybus, is they generally cannot go first, and they sort of have to OTK, but they can't really OTK because they don't have enough like OTK tools. They don't have any like board wipes or any like attack boosts. They only have like protection. They're like an OTK deck with a lot of protection, and I don't really like that. So yeah, playing against, I believe, Cyber Dragons. This was just like sort of yeah, so essentially he used Cyber Dragon Core, and because Core's effect becomes the name of Cyber Dragon, he's able to go for Infinity. So really this match is just, how am I going to get over Infinity? So I bait the negate off Joker, special summon, get another Joker, and then just go for Pendulum Summon. And then go for Electrum, and then pop my own thingy, get my Revolution, get the Revolution Church, Vortex Fusion into Vortex, and then Vortex Bounce. And I'm just able to go for the clean OTK. because of Phantom Dragon. Phantom Dragon does help you setting up OTKs. If you're ever going to go for an OTK, you definitely want Phantom in 2 pentascales. Last match against Blackwings, I love destroying Blackwings because it's like, dude, this is not like 2012 still playing Blackwings. So I have no idea what Blackwings do. Well, I do, but it's just a deck that doesn't interest me. So he's doing Blackwing things of like just tuning and whatever, so he just ends up with like 1 Deco Talker, which wasn't even that good. The amount of resources he invested didn't even give him that much of like plus. So I'm just like, okay, you're gonna get OTK'd, sorry. I put, one mistake that I did was putting my Phantom Dragon in defense. That was an accident. And he just surrenders because I would be able to set up for the OTK. I could have gone into Big Eye and then take over his Deco Talker for style points, which would have been pretty cool. And so yeah, that wraps up my replay commentary deck of Odd Eyes. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But until then, I'll see you in the next one.